I'm Sabrina Samuels, your lifestyle, etiquette, and relationship coach. You know, life is really beautiful when we make it that way. So let's get started. Welcome back to my show. I'm Sabrina Samuels, and I thank you for tuning in. To all of my fabulous subscribers, thank you for your support. I greatly appreciate it. All right. I wanted to ask your opinion, and I need to really hear from you. Your comments, your suggestions, your opinion on this topic I want to talk about. Normally I don't do this type of information, but I'm really puzzled right now. I went to have my eyes fixed. This was 7 months ago. And I had new lenses put in my eyes. There were cataracts forming in my eyes. I didn't have to have the surgery done right away. They said it could, maybe a year or two, but I couldn't see at night the way I wanted to see, and I did not want to take a chance driving at night and have a problem. So I decided to go ahead and have my old lens taken out and whatever they do in terms of cataract surgery. But when I went to the doctor's office, and this optometrist was highly recommended, and they advertise where the advertisement is so slick, you really think this is the right one. But I did my research and I talked to a few people. So I felt very comfortable. And when people are working on your eyes, you have to be careful, because if they mess your eyes up, and you can't see anymore, then, how devastating that can be. So naturally, that's a surgery that I was very careful about in terms of getting the right doctor. Everyone was very nice. The doctor was very nice. I thought, the assistant, his team members were very professional, so I went with it. But during the consultation, they talked me into buying lenses that would improve my vision. And I didn't want to spend $4,000 because I knew insurance would take care of the cataract surgery. And many people who have cataract surgery, they go on to wear the prescription, the prescription glasses that they were already in. Where my vision is 20/35. So I could see pretty darn good without glasses, but I do have glasses that I wear. I have the the glasses that, the progressive lens. So I didn't want to wear glasses anymore. They said, well, you might have to, just put on a pair of reading glasses when you're at the computer or you're reading. I said, oh, that's good. So I said, well, let's do it. I'll invest in it, but I'll talk to my husband to confirm. But I'd like to hear about it. So they explained the situation to me. So I said, okay, it sounds good. And for me, I was excited. I said, well, if I spend money and get new lenses in my eyes that will last me until I leave the planet, I think it's a good investment. So I went for the consultation and for the, to the financing, and they explained everything to me, and I listened intently. And I kept asking the young lady questions, and I could tell she was getting a little perturbed with me. But this is my money and my vision first. And I asked her, I said, now, am I going to be able to see distance very well as up close? She says, distance you're going to have no problem with. Up close, you'll need reading glasses. I said, okay, that's what the doctor said. So I gave her my, debit card, and we moved forward. It's a process when you have surgery done like this. You have to have one eye done at a time. So I was in for the whole, 9 yards. I was in for it. I was ready to commit to it. Let's make it happen. The doctor did my right eye first. And I tell you, ladies and gents, it was absolutely wonderful. I was so excited. And the very next day you come back, and I could actually drive myself to the doctor's office the next day. And I was just so elated. I was telling the receptionist, oh, how excited I was. I could see out of this right eye, and I can't wait to get my left eye done, and blah, 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 blah. So I sat there for about an hour waiting for another doctor who does the follow-ups. And I had to get out of there. So I asked the receptionist, would she check and see how long, how much longer the doctor would be. So I don't know if I made the doctor mad or not, but I am a very astute person when it comes to protocol. That's what I teach. I teach etiquette and protocol, business, etiquette and protocol, etc. So I know how to act when I go to an event or an office or any environment that is professional. If I have to act a certain way, I am going to do it. I'm not going to fuss, no, I'm very professional. So she came back and said, well, he's running behind. He said it'll be another 20 minutes. I said, okay, I have another appointment, so thank you. So I went back there. I don't know if the doctor had an attitude that I sent her back there, but he wasn't very nice. He was a little bit, what happened to doctors' bedside manners? He was a little bit curt. A little bit, a little bit. And so I was very nice, and I was complimentary to the doctor who did the surgery on the right eye. And I was trying to, be professional, because I could tell he was a little pissed off that I, didn't want to wait such a long period of time. There wasn't anybody in the office, so I don't know what he was doing back there. But I apologized for, sending the receptionist back there. And I told him I had a very important meeting. I didn't expect to be in the doctor's office for an hour and a half. I have other things to do when I step out. So anyway, he checked the eyes, and I really praised the doctor that did the surgery. And after everything was over, I went to shake the follow-up doctor's hand, and he just turned and walked away from me. So I said, So I guess they don't know Miss Sabrina, because I can show you another side of me that you will not like. And that side is I'll treat you like you treat me. I'll cut all the energy off that's good, and I'll just be very professional and point blank and not do anything else. Just handle that business. So after so many weeks, it was time for my second eye. Now I go, the doctor who did the first eye, I go to the surgery center, and he's ready for the second eye. So I was very excited to see him, and I told him about the incident, because I can tell you now, I think I, really made the follow-up doctor a little angry, and I apologized to the doctor that I did that. He said, oh, that's no problem. He never mentioned anything. I said, okay, very good, because he's very nice, and I didn't want to cause waves. So we went on, and he told me he was going to fix my stigmatism. Well, that's the first time I heard about that, so I was like, oh my goodness, okay. And I'm sure that if he was going to do it, insurance would cover that anyway. So I'm going to cut to the chase very quickly. He did the surgery. The next day I was in a little pain because he had to cut, I guess in my eye to fix the stigmatism. So I had to go to the doctor the next day, the same protocol for the right eye I have to do for the left eye. So I told the doctor who waited on me the first time, the follow-up doctor, I said, I said, my eye is really hurting this time. He said, well, he had to, do surgery on the stigmatism, but it will feel better, blah, 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 blah. And I have dry eye, which they told me I had dry eye, and if I had dry eye that bad, and the lenses were not going to be, good for me, they should have said it, but not take my money, and then after the fact, stress, you have dry eye. Well, yes, I have dry eye, and I was doing the protocol with the PF, preservative-free drops, etc. So, ladies and gents, it went on the protocol every week for so many weeks, and my left eye wasn't getting any better. And now the right eye, I couldn't hardly see any distance. So now I'm kind of perplexed here. I'm like, what the heck is happening? So I have to put my reading glasses on at the computer, which I understood that. But if I moved a certain way, one of the eyes would be out of focus. So I brought this to the attention of the doctor, the follow-up doctor, but nothing was really being said. They would just throw up dry eye to me. So I'm getting tired of dry eye. You've got $4,000 of my money. I don't want to hear about dry eye. You should have told me that in the beginning. I could have made a very good decision and say, let's hold those lenses off, do what the insurance will pay for, and I'll handle the rest. So I was still very patient. Okay, after a certain period of time, after a few months, my eyes just, it wasn't what I thought it was going to be. So I brought this up again, and I was kind of being pushed off to the side, like, we're done with you. Okay, let's go to the next patient. So I made an appointment because they have several offices. So I made an appointment to see the doctor who had done the surgery because I didn't want to deal with the follow-up doctor because he was saying one thing and he didn't do the surgery. I wanted to hear from the man who did the surgery. So I got an appointment. It was a long time to see him, but I got in there. And when I came in there this time to see him, I wasn't very bubbly and nice and hello, how are you? I was just kind of, what's happening here? And he tried to explain it to me, and then I was telling him, I said, well, doctor, I thought this is what was going to happen. Distance was going to be fine, and if I needed to work with reading glasses for up close, that'll be fine too. But I can't see, I can't see if I sit down at the kitchen table and look across in the family room to the TV, which I could see very, very well before surgery. Now I can't see. And so he writes me a prescription. He says, oh, well, just go to Walmart, not Walmart, Sam's Club, and get this prescription. I said, but what is this for, distance or close? He said, well, this will be for distance. So I didn't say anything, ladies and gents, but I was a little upset because that's not what I paid for. So I went back to my regular doctor, my regular eye doctor, who she, was kind of instrumental in me going to this doctor, although I was the one who made the final decision, so I'm not going to put it on her. So I was explaining to her, and she was very nonchalant about it. She says, well, you might be able to see better, and you might not. I said, I beg your pardon? That's not what I was told. And it was amazing how she just fluffed it over. She, did another eye exam. She said, well, your eyes are, they're doing well. You're 20/20 now. I said, I might be 20/20, but I'm telling you, the lenses are not functioning normally, and there's either a blur, I see halos a little bit, I can't see a distance. So it was like, okay, let's get you some glasses. So I gave her the prescription that the eye doctor who did the surgery did, and she said, okay, this is close, but I'm going to tweak it a little bit, so she gave me another prescription. Well, that prescription was for distance. So if I'm sitting at the table looking at the TV, I can see distance, but if I'm trying to look at my plate, now it's blurry. You all know I was fit to be tied. And I'm still at a point now where I cannot see properly. I can see, of course I can see, I can walk around, etc. It's not like I'm blind or blurry, but you get, or you're supposed to get, what you pay for. So I had my final 6-month appointment, and I told the follow-up doctor what I was going through, because at that time you're supposed to bring in or write down and bring in the complaints or the suggestions or the whatever you're experiencing with your eyes. So I had a list of things that I was concerned about. He just played it off. So I wanted my money back. He said, well, what do you want us to do? I said, I'd like a reimbursement. Oh, well, I don't handle that department. Now everybody, all of a sudden, of course he doesn't handle that department, but now he's being a little bit nicer, and he was a little bit more cordial with me before the meeting, the consultation, or the exam was over. So someone called me up and says, well, we cannot do a reimbursement, but we can do laser on your right eye, which would take 6 months to heal, and I would be in glasses because my left eye won't be working now if they do that on my right eye. Do you see what I'm saying here? Can you understand my frustration? I just couldn't believe it. So I did, I didn't go do a debit card. I apologize. I did a Care Credit. So my Care Credit card, I called them up and explained to them, and they said they would, work on it, investigate, etc. And they sent me a letter back stating they could not do anything for me. I think it's ludicrous when you're spending that kind of money. You have information that you were told. Now, I never received that information, the contract that I signed. They never gave me a copy of that, which I will get. But I was just perplexed, wondering why would they do that? And when I went back for my final follow-up with the the follow-up doctor, I just couldn't believe the energy. It was almost like when somebody wants your money, they're going to be all nice and polite, etc. And if they don't do it right, they want to brush it off. See, in my business, I don't do that. When you call me up and you want information, I give it to you. I make sure you have it before we hang that phone up. And we move forward and you do the work and we continue to follow up until you reach your goals. With these people, they just say, okay, we got your money. It's time for you to move on. What do you think I should do? Now, I'm thinking about suing the doctor, but I don't want to hurt the business. I'm not one for malicious behavior. I'm just not. But at the same time, when I deal with having to drive my car, and now I need glasses because now I can't see the distance, and then I have to take the glasses off if I'm looking for something in my purse, that's a nightmare. It's a nightmare. So please help me. Send me your comments, your suggestions, your prayers, your advice, so that I can put that in my mind and decide on what my next step will be. I think it's very wrong when people do wrong and they don't fess up to it. They don't try to get it right. I think it's very wrong. And to offer me an alternative that I didn't pay for, that's not cool either. So with that said, don't forget to go to my website. The information is right below my banner on my homepage on YouTube. I'd love for you to get my online training program. It's right there in one of the links, as well as my Success Diary workbook. It's a great little workbook. It will bless your life if you just follow directions. It's a little guide that will just help you get through certain things in life. It's very good. Also, my coaching sessions are definitely available. Thank you to all of my clients. I love you so much, and I'm so proud of you. I know some of you have struggled with moving forward, but you've done it. And now things are happening for you, and you're making breakthroughs, and I'm so excited about that. Some of you are just doing exceptionally well, and I'm very grateful that you've allowed me to be a part of that. Until next week, I'm Sabrina Samuels, wishing you love, peace, happiness, and our Heavenly Father God, His divine order. I've been talking to God, you all, about it. He knows my heart. He knows I don't want to hurt anybody's practice or anybody's business, but the medical profession has got to get back to good old-fashioned common courtesy and decorum. Don't treat us as patients like an assembly line, because you need us like we need you. If we don't come to you, you don't get paid. And if we don't go to you, we get sick or sicker. So we need each other. Let's work together for good. And let's respect one another when we're in the doctor's office. I hate going to the doctor's office and everybody behind the counter is sad and down. And I say to myself, they must be tired of looking at sick folks because they look sick themselves. Spruce yourself up. I know you have to wear your uniform, your gowns or your scrubs or whatever uniforms you have to wear. But can you smile at your patients coming in? When the patient, I'm a senior. When I have to go back to the doctor's office, you just see the doctor, don't call Sabrina, Mrs. Samuels or Miss Sabrina. And I call the nurse or the team member, whoever it is. If they introduce themselves to me, I say, Miss So-and-so. It's just common courtesy and respect. And it gives you a feeling of everything's going to be professional and work right. Love you. God bless you. And I'll talk to you soon. Look forward to hearing from you.